It's called The Triumph of Seeds, and that is by Lars Hanson. No, it's by, I can't remember his name. Hold on, I will show you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's by Thor Hanson. It is called The Triumph of Seeds. This is a wonderful book for exactly that. So he essentially goes through and talks all about how a seed works. What are all the individual parts and how do they evolve and how do we know all this? Why is it that seeds are why is it that plants that produce seeds dominate the entire world? Every plant, every big tree, everything that you see except for mosses and ferns, they all make seeds. So that's not how life started. Life started with the equisedum, our horsetails and ferns and fungus, things that make spores. Spores are very different than seeds. So what is it about the seed and how did that that initial order of plants evolve and take over every terrestrial space on the planet? He talks all about that. It's a really good book. I highly recommend.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I want to get to the next stage, but I think I have one other question, which is that seed, if you could get it to like hover
Mm-hmm.
in space, it doesn't need to be in outer space, though that could be its own question because of gravity. And I'm sure that there's some questions around that, but I'm not sure we need to know that today. If you could get it to hover without the soil and it still had everything else it needed, what does it do? Which sort of leads into the question of then what is the soil's purpose? Following up with that.
Yeah, great. So the big I think two parts of that. One is the gravity part, where gravity is the ultimate thing that is telling the little radical, that new first little root, which way to grow. And plants over time have generally said, I assume that the soil is down, so I'm going to grow down. And so far, they've been right almost every single time. So that is that's their response. But if there is no soil there, they just keep growing down. Gravity is still telling them what to do. But if they can't find any soil, then they are unfortunately out of luck and they'll probably end up dying because they need to get to water and they need to get to the dissolved nutrients that the water they need, and they need to get to the dissolved nutrients in the water that of course is filled up in the soil. The other thing is they need to get fungus. Most trees, certainly conifers, but a lot of the broadleaf trees, like the tulip poplar, they all have connections with different fungus and microbes in the soil. So fungus will dissolve these different nutrients and then send it to the roots of the trees. That is a huge, really popular thing for researchers to be looking at right now. How does that relationship really work?